Hello. Hi. Hello,
Hi.
you watching, and hello, you lot playing. How are you
Yay.
all doing?
Hi, Dimnan.
Yeah, I'm
Good
okay.
you.
Hello.
Doing good.
Amazing.
Yeah,
excited.
so good.
Amazing. We have returned. The prophecies foretold, and thus it has come true. We're gonna. Yes, episode 4. We're gonna play some Dungeons and Dragons, and I'm hoping that you're comfortable and you're cozy, and you've got a lovely
Hot
big
brew.
old mug of your
Mm.
favoritist warm drink, because there's going to be a bit of carnage tonight.
Oh,
There's
no.
Spoilers?
What?
Spoilers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we're getting in a car. Okay.
We're all going down the
Yes.
pub, we're getting wasted. It's gonna be great.
I mean, next session we can have at the pub. I mean, I don't think you'll be able to enjoy it that much because, we will be totally sloshed.
Yeah, precisely. Shall we crack on with it?
Yeah!
Yes.
Hooray! Title!
The world has been broken and remade. Our civilizations are shattered, our people divided. Yet there are those who would rise up to challenge the encroaching darkness.
Hi, my name's Carl. I'm playing Sir Carmichael Comstock, a Lorivar Cavalier Fighter.
Hi, I'm Meg. I'm playing Addy, a Keeper Druid Bard.
Hi, my name is Anton, and I play Victor, a Lorivar Gloomstalker Ranger.
Hi, my name's Lane. I'm playing Milia Sayralast, an Asavar Divine Soul Sorcerer.
My name's Tim, and I'm playing Galena, the Terran Sprite Alchemist Artificer.
And my name is Dan. I will be the Dungeon Master on this adventure. Whilst our world has been changed, we band together. Hope bright in our hearts. We push forward to reclaim what was once ours, and we shall be known as the Explorers of Elsewhere. It is wholly correct to say the events of the Eschaton were life-changing for the peoples of Elsewhere, as no one was left unaffected by the period of tumultuous chaos towards the end of the War of the Heavens above. Whilst there are those, like the Explorers Society, who have pledged to search for those in need of a new world, there are those who hold a much more retrospective view. Why did this happen? How could this happen? Could this happen again? Many teach that we should learn from the lessons of the past in order to not recreate the mistakes of before. For some, these lessons are not enough, doing little to soothe the pain of what has been lost. For some, there must always be another answer, hidden only by virtue of not having yet been found. Having fended off the attack of an unknown assailant, our explorers find themselves stranded away from home in a perilous wilderness, and what they need is some sort of safe shelter.
Dum dum dum.
What we do?
And so, we rejoin you all, having just evaded capture, or evaded attack from the invisible
Claw
thing that has just made off with one of the caravan horses. You
Bear the horse.
bear the horse, yes. You made it across a ravine, which was more perilous than it needed to be after the rope bridge you were crossing was destroyed by the whatever it was that was tracking you and attacking you. But you have now made it into some sort of cave. The night sky has like the night sky is clear, and with it comes a much kind of lower temperature, and in this kind of high altitude cave that you find yourself in, there is a horrible biting wind that is funneling through the cave and making a roaring whistle in your ears as gusts of wind blast past.
So it's going to be nice and cozy. Guess not.
Guess not. Victor, you know, well, all of you have taken the chance to notice that with the rope bridge gone, it would seem that there is no. Well, you obviously can't go back that way. So the act of getting back home is now a task that's in question.
Oh, true.
But Victor, with your survival skills, your outdoorsmanship skills, you
Yes.
know that the fact that this wind is blowing past the four of you and sort of like funneling down into the tunnel, that presumably there is some sort of exit for this wind to be drafting through.
Mhm.
Milia, you've got your light going on your padlock still, so you can see the cave itself looks like a cave that has been shaped by the harsh elements. It extends off into the darkness. You can't quite see what's like. You can't see any light coming back from you, but realistically, from what you know of the area, Victor, the only way, arguably, is forward.
So, what do we do now? Should we rest up for the night or continue forward? What do you think?
Am I getting anything on my tremor sense, Sam?
As you close your eyes and like place your hands to the ground, you feel sort of like the tinkering of like rocks or pebbles that shift and move every now and again. You can feel the footsteps of your three companions. You don't feel anything within 60 feet of you that causes any degree of alarm, but you are distinctly aware that the cave entrance that you've gone through is certainly large enough that if that thing were to come back, it could get at you.
Okay.
Then our mission was to kill the creature. So do we want it to come back? That's the question.
Quite possibly, but at this, well, it's
Actually, our
dark.
mission was to retrieve the horse, wasn't it?
Well,
Was
yes.
it?
I thought it was just to investigate it.
Yes.
All right.
Retrieve the horse,
Okay.
investigate the beast or whatnot, but yes, arguably, like with the temperatures dropping, the light not being great, you'd be sitting ducks.
Okay. Perhaps let's move forward. At least it will keep us warm.
How are we going to get back?
I know the way. I've been here before.
What?
Don't worry about getting lost underground. That's not something that happens to us lot.
And can I make a survival check to orient ourselves, perhaps?
You can. While you're doing that, what's Constop thinking?
He was just sort of saying, you've been here before?
Yes, correct.
Recently or in the past?
Yeah, a few days ago.
I see.
I'm tracking a different beast. So I know these trails fairly well.
Well, fate is in your hands once more, it would seem.
What luck?
Mr. Victor,
Quite.
I have a
Yeah.
favor to ask.
Sure, but my name is Kasperzak.
Okay, Mr. Kasperzak,
Oh, Victor.
if you could somehow cover our tracks as we go?
I think our Terran friend right there would be more apt to do so than I.
Well, I could certainly give it a go. It might take a while. I can only do a little bit of ground at a time.
Although, to
Sure.
be fair, the creature's more likely to track us via scent than via our markings.
If anything, I doubt there'll be too comfortable underground if they fly, right?
Yes. Especially with this wind.
So, with all that in mind, what's we doing?
Can I make that survival check?
Yes, absolutely.
I think we did determine that I've been here once before, because you said I recognize the track. So I think that gives me advantage on the roll.
Sure.
Just because I feel like having advantage. No, but I do have a ranger feature that does give me some form of...
I want advantage, so I'll take it.
I will take it.
Is that how it works? Oh my god, I want advantage in everything then. I want it, so I'll have it.
There we go. 23.
Wonderful.
I told you. Been here before.
Okay, so yes, off the back of a 23, you've certainly, like, you visited this particular cave before. You knew about the rope bridge, you knew about the ravine. But that was on a night that was considerably warmer than this one. So this was a suitable place to shelter, and also you didn't have to venture into the cave. That said, what you know of the local geography, and also the behavior of the wind that's rushing past you, like the chilling winds, you're pretty certain that this cave is in fact a tunnel that will lead you out, hopefully, to the other side of the mountain hill lump of earth.
Okay. I know where we can go. Follow me.
Okay. Is anyone else using light, or is it just Milia lighting the way?
I think Milia's light is adequate enough, correct?
Yeah, mine's pretty pathetic, so I'll probably leave it for now.
Cool. Okay. In which case, as you you kind of head into the darkness, Milia's light illuminating for Milia, Galena, and Comstock. You can kind of clearly see about 20 feet out from Milia. Beyond that, it gets a bit murky. You can kind of make out rough shapes and general layout, but you all notice that Victor seems to be kind of striding into that gloom with a significant amount of confidence. And whilst you're heading along, Galena, what's kind of going through your mind based on recent
I'm 50-50 on whether this guy is trying to lead us into a trap.
What?
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you there, Galena.
And very much prepared to shoot him in the back at any moment if necessary.
Wow.
Okay.
Just so happen to know this place. Oh, that's handy.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Well, Galena is. Well, Comstock, you see that Galena's giving the back of Victor's head the stink eye.
I probably, in fact, if we're kind of together and Victor's ahead, I'd probably try and make eye contact with Comstock and just, try and convey as best I can, like, I don't trust this dude.
Yeah, there's a knowing nod, and he basically sort of gives sort of like, I don't know what the hand gesture would be for I agree, let's kill him if we don't trust him. But it's something close to that sort of like.
You could make almost any hand gesture, and she'd probably interpret it as that anyway. So you're all good.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. In which case, you do notice that the tunnel. Well, Victor, you notice that the tunnel that you're heading through appears to be sloping down. It at a sharp enough rate that actually, when the gusts of wind kind of fly in from behind you, it's almost a bit perilous to keep your footing. But the one thing you do take solace in is that if you're heading down, it's hopefully going to be warmer wherever it emerges. And sure enough, after about a few minutes, about 10 minutes walk, you all see a dim light indicating the end of this kind of tunnel that's carved all the way through this earthen structure.
My Tremor Sense will just be coming to an end now. I don't suppose I get any pings on the outside of the tunnel or anything.
The pings on the tunnel, no. The only thing that's kind of picking up on your vibration, vibrometer, is you know that outside it has started to rain. You can feel the little pitter patters of rain hitting the ground.
Hope everyone bought wet weather gear.
Yes, always.
You all look to Milia.
It's gonna be havoc on my hair.
So, as you you head towards the tunnel exit, and as you emerge, sure enough, thankfully it is distinctly warmer than it was a few moments ago. It seems like you've descended quite some height, but interestingly, the tunnel mouth opens out onto what appears to be this small kind of valley that stretches out in front of you, and you would be able to get a good look of the valley if it weren't for the fact that with the rain clouds has come a thick blanket of clouds, which has reduced the night's light to darkness. And Milia, as you kind of step out and hold your padlock aloft, it illuminates what appears to be a large building of some sort. To look at it, the building is approximately the walls are about 30 foot, 25 to 30 foot tall, you would wager. The walls are decorated. You can see that those which haven't smashed, the windows which haven't smashed are decorative, very kind of expensive looking. The door that has been smashed to the ground in front of you also looks equally ornate. It would appear that the trees and foliage around it almost seem to be kind of reclaiming this building. And to look at it, it would seem that it's been in this state for some considerable time, the way that nature's kind of reclaimed it almost. You do notice that coiled along the top of the doorframe and kind of then arching up the front of the building is a very slender, flowing looking dragon. And if I can grab religion checks from you all, please.
Ooh. Religion.
I'm the chosen of the gods, and I have +1 in religion.
Oh, mine also sucks. Oh, 15 total.
15, 8, 25.
Hey, Galena!
They get in the books, kids.
11.
Okay. So, Milia and Comstock, you can't quite figure out who this carving is supposed to represent.
Oh, sorry, Dan, it probably won't matter too much, but I think I've left a +2 bonus on. It should just be 23.
23. I'm sure that will be fine. So, Victor, you know with your 15 that this dragon
Yes.
carving depicts one of the good ones.
Ooh.
But specifically, Galena, you look at it and because the depiction is one of Hydrea, the lawkeeper, and you realize, it dawns on you as you kind of peer, like the shadows are thrown out sharply by Malia's light, but this would appear to be a Hydreian shrine, a church of some sort, maybe a temple, but it's seen better days.
Okay.
Should we try and go in?
Is there anything I
Yes.
know about followers of Hydrea? Stuff they might have in here or anything that I should be looking out for?
So, you know that Hydrea, being the goddess of kind of law and knowledge and the practice of arcane magics, she's a bit of an unusual one for the divine dragons, given that a lot of her worshippers study the tools that would eventually be used by the enemy. But she's the patron of wizards, for example. The followers of Hydrea tends to be quite bookwormy.
Fucking
Not
nerds.
surprised to hear that as well, to be fair.
Yes, they've got a lot of. I assume that, as far as you're concerned, they've got a lot of book know whats, but not a lot of hands know whats.
Still, book know whats tend to survive longer.
Should I perhaps go around?
Well, didn't feel anything when I was coming out the tunnel, but if there's a wooden surface in there, I probably struggle with it, so it might be worth trying to be safe.
Comstock steps out into the rain, holds his shield out as a canopy. Anyone like...
Oh, yes, please.
Yeah, I'll scurry in there as well.
My ladies? And he'll so walk along, keeping them shielded from the rain.
So, looking at it, you certainly wager that if you are going to shack up for the night, this would be much more suitable than the tunnel that you were just in.
Victor light a torch and just go around it?
Sure. So, as you reach into your backpack and
there you go,
orange light emanates from you. Hang on, start. If you give me a moment. Turn those off. There we are. Okay, so yeah, as you kind of go around the side, you can see that some of the walls are kind of disrepaired. Some of them have crumbled, where it almost seems like the trees have, at pace, moved against the building. But given the fact it's in this kind of valley, there are some relatively high walls, like slopes either side. It's, yeah, you could wager that it's a pretty safe place to be. So, Victor, while you're going around the houses, we'll pan back to the other three. So you've just seen this Lorivar ranger just kind of give you a signal, and as he goes off exploring, what do you make of what's happening?
With the rain possibly, hopefully covering our words, and the tinkering against his armor and shield, what do we make of our new friend?
Don't trust him as far as I can throw him, and I've got tiny arms.
I feel the same. Comes out of nowhere. At the same time a beast appears. Just so happens to know the way.
Says he's been tracking us, but Frank say no side of him.
I trust Frinka.
So do I. For what it's worth, he does seem to know the woods and the surrounding areas quite well, and if he had the chance to, he could have done.
Unless there is something he is after.
Right, like whatever's in this ancient ruin of magical lore that we're being taken to. Well, I can't say I'm not curious to check the place out myself, but we should certainly keep a close eye on him.
Prepare for anything.
As you say that, Kalina, you notice that the rain picks up and it becomes much heavier. And as you all kind of roll your eyes as you start getting battered by the heavens, Victor, you've made it to the back of the church.
Yeah, he's just gonna loop and report back to the group on anything strange.
I saw little hints of your torchlight coming through the windows, if we can see through the building. So
Yes.
at least we know where you are.
You can see this flicker of torchlight.
As he's going around, and then like sort of as he goes out of view, Amelia will just like quietly say, probably after like a minute of silence, you go, we've all survived worse things, and if it comes to it, we will survive this.
He is returning.
We certainly shall. Well, I was about to... You know what? I was about to pull my own set of lockpicks out, but you seem to know a thing or two about locks, don't you, Malia?
I was a locksmith for 25 years. So
Thing or three, then. Maybe you can have a look at this, see if we can head on inside.
The door that's smashed down?
Oh, hang on. Okay, fair point.
I mean,
I couldn't see past your skirt.
Well, you were huddled quite close together under the shield, so...
I could try and restore the lock to working order so it's a little safer.
Well, for now, let's just get out of the rain.
I'm back. Nothing special to report. No creatures or people, as far as I know. We should go inside.
Did you see inside?
Yes, looks like a temple. Probably abandoned, no light.
All right.
Shall I try this door?
Well, you could try the one that's lying on the floor next to you.
Ah, good point. I didn't see it.
You see, it's harder than it looks.
2 of 4.
Okay, so as Victor, you head into the temple. Inside, it looks as kind of wrecked as you expected it to, from what you saw from the outside. As you like the floor underneath is that of a worked stone. It is decorated and relatively ornate. The causeway that runs up from the front entrance to the back, you notice has a number of pillars which rise up to the ceiling, flanking either side of it. But as along the path to the back of the temple, some of the chandeliers still hang overhead, whereas some have smashed down to the ground. You can see that some vegetation has begun to kind of sprout up from various piles of rubble and debris which has poured into the temple. But
are there still candles in the chandeliers?
Yeah.
The candles there are some very... The candles that were there look like they've wicked out. And as you, Milia, as you kind of head up towards the back as well, you see that at the back of the church there appears to be a disrepaired flight of stairs up, and what appears to be some sort of sarcophagus, some sort of altar. Beg my pardon.
Oh, that's scary.
Some sort of altar. You can also see off the pillars. So the pillars which rise from floor to ceiling, the vast majority of them are adorned with stone reliefs of the same kind of flowing serpentine-esque dragon that you saw at the front. You presume these to be visages of Hydrea.
I mean, it's not luxurious, but it will do. Fair shelter for the night.
As you say that, Victor, Galena, you're the one who notices in Victor's flickering torchlight, there appear to be 2 stairways down into some sort of lower level. And like as you look around, the whole, obviously the building seems significantly bigger to you, but the statues that you can see of kind of faceless, you assume faceless champions or people of note, just kind of loom over you intimidatingly. Again, their shadows cast out by Milia's and Victor's light sources.
Looks like we got a couple of rooms leading down, maybe a crypt or something. Might be somewhere handy for us to stay the night, get out of the wind. No one will see our lights either.
Good point.
Yeah, Galene, as you say that, you look at the staircase in front of you, and you can see that the wall behind it is crumbled out, and you can just see out into the outdoors.
Right. How's this one looking?
Which one, sorry?
The one on the reverse side.
So the wall of that alcove is still standing, but it looks like you could go down either staircase.
Might be a bit safer the side that's not collapsed.
Most likely. We could also light a fire without being seen. Be a bit smoky, though.
Let's go down.
What's Milia thinking?
Not particularly a fan of going into crypts. Maybe,
No.
but
Nor myself, but we don't want to leave Galena alone with our new friend, do we?
true.
I'm probably being a bit rash because I'm just thrilled to have actual proper stone above my head for once.
So stay near me, Lady Galena, if you're feeling uncertain.
Okay. Thank you.
Come.
Galena pops up from the stairs to check on where you are.
We're coming, we're coming. Don't rush us.
Come on!
So as you all head towards the stairs, Milia, as you descend down into the lower areas, you find yourself in what appears to be a large chamber, the width of the church upstairs. If anything, maybe a bit wider, but the floor looks much more like the structures around you look a lot more kind of damaged or aged, but it certainly doesn't take away from the splendor and grandeur of the very large, what you would describe as well, Galena, off the back of your roll earlier, you know that this kind of area in the center, which is, it's approximately 30 foot across, 40 foot, 50 foot long, slightly raised up. You know that Hydraeans would tend to use these as almost classrooms, if you will. You can see that there are a number of benches, like stone benches dotted around. You can see what appears to be a very like two sets of very large stone set chalkboards of sorts.
Oh, cool.
And a pool of water.
Okay. Do I know anything about what that pool of water is for?
You've heard that some Hydraeans would use magics that, much in the same way that you use your natural talents to mold earth, like loose earth around you. Sometimes Hydraeans would create what were fundamentally kind of 3D diagrams or objects and conjure them from surfaces of water in lieu of, say, for example, textbooks or whatnot, for a more live demonstration. But yeah, so Galena, as you're doing that, Comstock, Milia, you're snooping around. You can see Victor doing a scan of the perimeter.
I will just wandering into here, just say loud enough that everyone in the room can hear. Careful, everyone. Pretty magical place, this. We don't want to go disturbing any wards.
Good point.
As you say that, your voice echoes off the walls, and it seems like there's a real distinct kind of reverb as it bounces from wall to wall. to the point where it's almost a bit like awkward to hear your own voice back.
Mm.
Eventually, your voice dissipates, but you hear kind of almost as if it were a repeating, an emerging echo. Your master Akolf has passed, but he imparted onto us the final plan.
Show yourselves.
Is it just Galina that hears that, or is it everyone?
You will hear it.
Oh.
Can we place where it's coming from at all?
Galina, you look over your shoulder and you see Malia, because it sounds like it came from Malia. Malia is frantically looking around, presumably clutching that book she's always holding closer to her chest.
What's going on, Mel?
No, did you hear that?
Yeah.
You know, I think I might go back to the cave.
Yeah.
You dragged us down here. You're not going anywhere. If the ghosts kill us, they're killing you too.
True. Melia, is your book full of ghosts?
I don't think so.
I found a door. Perhaps we should go this way instead.
Or back up and out into the main church.
Not yet.
Sure enough, Victor does appear to be standing in front of two doors along the northern wall.
Let's keep moving.
Well, as long as we're not going to get haunted. Do you any idea what's going on, Melia, or just a fun new thing?
I don't know.
Milia. Milia. Attention to me. It's okay. Relax. Take a deep breath.
Okay, see you guys later.
So Victor, you watch as Victor opens one of the doors and strides on through. Victor, you emerge into what appears to be almost like a preparation room. You can see a number of scrolls and tomes, letters dotted around on various kind of tables, side tables. You can see bookshelves which reach from floor to a relatively modest, by comparison, 15-foot ceiling. You can see that there are reading candles, writing utensils, whatever. You would perhaps assume that this is where maybe where the tutors prepared before giving their lessons in the what you would assume to be the classroom that you just emerged from.
He shouts out, "No, it's even worse here."
I think I'm gonna storm in after him
Yes.
because I'm not happy. Where's the door? There. I can't. I did it.
So, Galena, as you walk in, you also are met with the same as what Victor is seeing with the scrolls and books and various pieces of academia.
I'm gonna grab the bottom of this bloke's coat, pull him back, probably not very hard.
Yeah.
Although I am quite dense, and just say, right. Look, Hunter, what did I just say?
Galena, as you chastise the Lorivar, your eyes glance to one of the pages, like one of the tomes, which is laid out on the floor nearby, and your eye catches the tome's open on a page with a drawing, a diagram of some sort. It appears to be the drawing is that of a very angular shape, almost crystalline in nature.
So yeah, I'm just in the middle of I've still got your coat. I'm like, look, you think you know everything out here, right? The forest is yours. This place, this is my forest. So, hang on.
I'll come back to you later.
He just nods.
And I will scurry over to the tome
Sure.
and very carefully start to take a look at it. I know, I don't know what kind of condition this is going to be in, so I don't want to disturb the pages until I know that they're still in good enough condition for me to actually move.
You note that this is something. This tome is somewhere between a journal and a textbook, and it looks. Interestingly, it looks extremely old, but the tome speaks of this phenomena that has recently started happening, that of crystallized mana. As you flick through some of the pages, just gently, delicately, cautiously, you see that they're doing some tests. What sort of mana are these crystals channeling? What properties do these crystals have? What are the applications of said crystals? Where did they come from? They emerged from started emerging with greater and greater frequency more recently. It would seem, one hypothesis states, that they're appearing the longer that this war goes on, the more crystals are appearing. Is this a result of the war?
Is there a recognizable date in any of the margins, or maybe in the publishing material towards the front? I don't know if any of that's in good enough condition that I can find any information on when this was.
So there's no dates as such in the book that you're looking at, but as you kind of look around, you see what looks more to be like a research journal or diary of some sort. And much like the tome you've just read through, this book looks centuries old, decades old, centuries old. The date entries are just over 1 year old.
Something's wrong here. Guys, what do you make of this?
Comstock and Malia, you hear Galena shout out from the back room.
Make of what?
Got an old journal here. It's talking about a war. And have you heard any of those rumors about the crystallized mana? Been popping up lately.
I did see one of the crystal shards on my way to Barish. Sticking out from the ground, gleaming bright blue. It was.
They're new, right?
Quite.
It's an effect of the arcane divine conflict, part of the eschaton. Something's messed with the natural mana conflux. I've never seen anything like it in any of my books. This book talks about them, so it must be new, right?
Quite.
This book, I'll grab the other one and point to it, says it was published last year. This book is at least 50 years old.
As Galena says that, almost as if to emphasize the point, the pages fall away from the cover.
Ah, shit.
Okay, grab more of that. We can make fire with it. Good tinder.
Even Comstock, who
Don't try me, Victor.
Comstock has to turn quite away to get his eye to look at you.
No, I've got loads of it. Don't worry. We can make a great fire tonight. We'll be warm for days.
I bet moustaches burn pretty well too. Don't worry about it.
Be glad that I'm standing between her and you, Victor. At least I could stop her if she lunges at you.
Oh, I doubt it, my friend.
as Comstock, as you're like trying to stop Galena from clambering up your arm to get her to leap at Victor, you notice that the door to your left, as you're kind of facing off against Galena, has a sign with some faded. There's clearly some lettering on this sign attached to the door, but like cobwebs obscure it.
It says toilet.
Galena.
I can't reach it. Can someone
Of course.
clear that off?
Of course. As with a big hand just runs down across over the writing.
Sure. You see in like high common in Asavari laboratories. Sorry, laboratory.
Comstock is somewhat sort of still in front of Galena, sort of.
Oh, hello.
See, I told you, lavatory.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Okay, everyone, let's try this. Kill him now. No one to find the body. Evidently, it'll age really quickly.
Galena, what do you do?
Allow me.
I don't think she's cautious enough to not go straight in there.
Okay.
What happened to the watch out for wards?
You know,
Scientist wouldn't bother with such a thing.
2 seconds later, we're there with a burnt corpse of Galena. You were reckless.
Galena, you enter into what appears to be a 10-foot room, 10-foot by 10-foot room. And the ceiling is now distinctly lower. But the only thing of note in this room, apart from the wreckage and rubble, is another door upon which this time a sign hangs that says, "Admitted initiates only."
okay. Well, that kind of door might be warded. Anyone know anything about traps?
Can I check it for if it's got any like magical traps or wards on it?
Sure. Give me a investigation check.
Investigation.
like a bear trap.
Don't suppose I can get a cheeky advantage off it being a lab? Probably not.
Probably not.
That's fair.
Good try, though. Good try.
14.
You don't detect any kind of arcane abjurations or wards or traps or anything of note. This appears
Seems
to be
alright.
a relatively sturdy, plain door. The only point of interest being the sign.
It certainly wouldn't have been my main thing to check for, but I don't suppose I saw any mundane traps in my scan of it.
You did not. No.
Well. Anyone have a look at this thing? Just to make sure it's not trapped.
What's Melia doing?
Staying as close.
Hey,
as in
locksmith!
view, but staying as close to like exits as possible. This place is setting off a little bit of PTSD from her.
Locksmith,
Yeah.
can you check this out?
Oh fuck. Okay.
Give me a moment here, Galena. Are you okay, lass? First thing first, he kind of just shuts the door on them for a second.
So,
Yeah.
where'd
so,
you get the hat?
hey, should ask where I got the gun.
Are you okay, lass?
Underground and places like this. I have had to escape from a place like this before. It's just something that's a little difficult for me. I'm sorry if I am holding everyone back in any way.
Not at all. I fear we are moving too quickly, but I knew this would be the happen the moment the word laboratory appeared. Chemicals experiments with Galena. I've only known her a few weeks, but even I knew that was too tempting for her to resist. You were doing fine, Milia. I know this is troublesome, but you're not holding anyone back. As I said, stay close, and if you need anything, you just shout. Focus on something that will make you feel better. Think of the sky, the great open areas. Think of the green fields that will found our new town on. Think of the babbling brook that will run through it that we can drink fresh water from, or actually have a decent bath for a change. No more melting ice water.
Okay, thank you. Like I said before, I really mean it, and I think you might understand this more than the others. But you and I have both survived terrible things, and we will survive this.
I think, and he sort of slowly lifts off his helmet to show his sort of missing ear and the scar across his face. The old saying is what doesn't kill you simply makes you stronger. In this case, it didn't. Whatever this was didn't kill you. Whatever did this didn't kill me, and we're still ticking along.
She pulls down the scarf slightly, and there is a very... So sword scars are not, like, precise. They're sort of, like, long or jagged, depending on, like, how amateur or how quick the swing was. She just puts down her scarf, and there is a incredibly long, starting from the tip of her chin, very precise scar heading from the tip of her chin, and it doesn't seem to stop at her collarbone. We both survived awful things, and I'd argue if this made me strong.
I see. If you need Lady Melia, I can take you back upstairs if it will make you feel better, or if you wish to continue, I will be right by your side. Perhaps
I can do this.
Perhaps think of things to calm you. Think of the open sky above us. Maybe think of the green fields that we'll settle our new town on, or the babbling brook that'll run through it with the freshest water, and maybe finally a chance for a bath and not purified horse piss by the wizard. But you can do this, and I believe in you.
I'll try. Thank you.
Anything, Lady Emilia. And as he slides his helmet back on, as I said, it'll only make you stronger, I promise.
In the meantime, kind of, there's been a brief awkward silence, I think, between Victor and Galena. And she's just kind of tapping her foot, looking impatient. She looks up and says, listen there, Huntsman. I know that the big lad might seem like a bit of a blowhard, and the girl, well, she needs a kick in the pants, but if you do anything to either of them, just know that I have ways of making you die that will take weeks.
What?
Oh, shit!
Just to let you know, because I'm growing quite fond of him, okay?
Tell me, Galina, are you scared of me?
Yeah. I haven't been scared for myself of anything apart from drops for quite some time, but I don't like people who are close to me being in trouble, okay? No, I don't trust you, but I don't have any reason to specifically distrust you either. Why? Are you scared of me?
It depends.
Because
Are
you
you a
should be.
predator or a prey?
Well, suppose we'll see.
That's fine with me.
As the two of you say that, Galena, you hear what sounds like a voice coming from the other side of the door to your left. The one that says, admitted initiates only.
Want to check it out?
You say it was a voice?
Yeah.
Can we hear what it's saying at all, or?
The words are indistinct, but there's definitely a voice.
The hell is that? Where the hell's that locksmith?
Are those two, are they a couple? Is that how it works?
Don't ask me.
I'm gonna head over to the door quietly, creak it open, and just be like,
Right, whatever you two are up to, keep it down. There's someone in there.
Victor, while this has been happening, like Galena, so this different spot has been kind of, oh, where's the locksmith? And this door, you can't see any locks on it. You can't. When the sprite was poking it, kind of investigating it, it didn't explode or anything. It just looks like a door.
Yeah, I mean,
So great locksmith.
Victor's pretty tempted to open it because it's pretty unpleasant being stuck in a confined space with Galena.
Excuse me.
I think you don't smell like I've been in the woods for 3 weeks.
Yeah, fair enough.
Victor making friends.
Victor will press on the latch.
Cool. And the door swings open.
Comstock pokes his head. It's like, oh, well, Lady Amelia, it looks like your lock skills will not be required.
Oh.
Okay, but I could use someone with magic, please.
You hear Victor shout this as Victor, you look forward into the corridor bends 45 degrees to the right, and you see a room that is approximately 40 by 20 foot in diameter. There is rubble and roots growing down through the ceiling into this room. You can see that there are pots, like broken pots lining the edges. There is a thick layer of cobweb and dust laid across or hanging from the vast majority of the things in here. Thankfully, 3 of the 4 pillars that rise to the ceiling are still holding the ceiling where it should be.
Mm-hmm.
But all of that comes secondary to your notice in comparison to what appears to be a large, shallow bowl, approximately 5 foot in diameter, that is filled with red glowing crystals.
I'm immediately gonna just push past Victor and rush to it.
Sure. Galena, as you rush forward, you feel the tips of your ears and your bottom lip start to tingle with what you recognize to be the presence of magic. Like your nose.
That's a powerful effect.
Your nose twitches a little bit.
Okay, well. Whew, this might not be good for me. Okay.
Oh, Galena.
As Comstock runs into the room after you, Galena, as you see your own reflection multiplied a number of times across the faces of these very angular but uneven looking crystals, like irregular looking crystals, you hear, "The crystals allow us to magnify our prowess. We should use them. But Hydrea teaches us not to use temporal magics." And then the voices fade.
You know what? I think I'm gonna go back to the cave now.
You're in this much too deep now.
Galena, as you
I'm
kind
gonna
of
reach out for, see if I can. Well, I'll probably take some tongs out. I've not completely lost my mind. See if I can get a piece.
Okay, in which case, Comstock, you see Galena produce a set of tongs from a bag. What do you do?
Galena, I think curiosity is one thing, but this might be a time to err on the side of let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, go ahead. I'll catch up.
I don't.
Listen to me, Kami. Don't want you getting in danger for this, but I need this, okay?
Yell.
What you need it for?
Yell if you need any help. Okay.
I will.
And Comstock takes a step back, takes another step back, tries to sort of suss out the distance, and takes one more step back, just in case there's an explosion.
Yeah, stay right there. Perfect. Okay, go.
Cool. Okay, yeah, I want to start extracting some of these shards and putting them into. I'm gonna sort of take out this long leather scroll filled with loads of different vials and just be like,
That one, right.
boom, and start, if I can, trying to place shards of it into me vial.
As you grab the small pieces, because small bits of the crystal, so I mean, you assume this to be the crystallized mana that was mentioned in the journal earlier. As you go to pick some of them up, they feel oddly heavy, and it almost feels like there's a bit of a magnetic pull on them as you try to pull them away from the main crystal cluster. But as you give it a bit of oomph, it kind of breaks away from whatever force was holding it in place, and your mind flicks back for a moment to those floating rocks that were floating around that half a missing mountain you saw like earlier today. And
Do we suddenly feel like an earthquake as they fall to the ground?
Yes. But you start to, you manage to get a vial's worth of these red crystals, and then as you cork it, like stopper it, the crystals in the basin are still kind of glowing.
Okay. Right. Still alive. Right. Yes.
As Victor approaches with his torch held up, you notice that there's a door to the right that leads into a corridor. You can see that there are who can see what? So Galena, you can see that there are a number of what they look like similar blood red crystals laid on the floor, but these ones aren't glowing.
Okay.
There's something else in there.
What happened here? Those voices. I think. There's been some kind of arcane event here. I think. I'd say something's been taken out of time. These voices we're hearing, they might be the people who were here. They might be caught between the now and the then.
Well, you did say those books were almost 50 years old, only having been written a year ago.
Slightly concerned that when we leave, it might be a few hundred years from now.
Huh? What?
Just,
He's being hyperbole.
I mean, the good news is the town will be built by then, so job done.
Victor, as you kind of say that over your shoulder, you notice that the corridor that you're now stood in the doorway of, and you can see these kind of strewn, unilluminated red crystals kind of scattered across the floor amongst debris, rubble, broken crates, and the like. You can see that the corridor bends round to the right at the end.
I'll enter the room cautiously, I guess. I can enter. I'm trying to move. It's not moving.
What
Why is
vibes
it
am I getting from this place? With my connection to the divine as it is.
So, temples and shrines to Hydrea are places of peace and learning. Arguably, Hydreian ones are a bit weirder because, like, Hydrea deals with matters of the arcane. Even though it is in a very academic and studious manner. It would be like the real world, the difference between being scared of a nuclear bomb and being impressed by a nuclear scientist. And yet,
Yay! I love those words.
something's odd. Like, based off what the voices that seem to be, the voices always seem to be kind of as if you're hearing an echo reverberating back at you. What Galena and Comstock and Victor are saying. Something's happened. But as you mill on this, and you can see your silhouette on the far wall from the glow of the crystals behind you. Victor, you make it to the end of the corridor, and you can see that turn to the right leads to another staircase down.
It goes further. Shall we go?
I would caution here, or just run off ahead. It's fine. Either is fine.
I'll just wander back and reach up and, well, probably take Milia's elbow, because I imagine her hand is probably occupied with the book.
Got
on
one
this side.
light, one book.
Yeah, I'll just gently take your elbow and say, come on now, better stay with us, girl. Don't want to spend too long near those crystals anyway.
Yeah, I might be just because of who I am, but yes, as someone very precious to me would have said before, the vibes are atrocious. Oh, I wish Platinum was here.
That'll probably be the crystal vibration matrix, I think. Or ghosts, or literally anything else. But we got you, okay?
Okay.
You got us, we got you.
Clear
I wish
skies,
Platinum
green
was here.
fields, babbling brooks.
And lovely tunnels.
And as you say that, you notice that Victor has disappeared down the next stairwell.
Do you think
There's a skeleton here.
Do you think if we give him 2 minutes, the skeleton will come alive and end the problem?
If we give him 2 minutes, he'll have looked through the whole place, and if there's any traps, then we'll know by then. I guess we'd better stop him getting killed. We'll never find our way back otherwise.
Stay in a formation. Stay close. At least I can protect you if you're near me. If anything does go wrong, or our friend does finally decide he's done with us.
Okay. So as you begin making your way down, Victor, you as you descend down into the stairwell, you feel a peculiar chill and like run down your spine. This place feels like what you would expect a crypt to feel like.
There's a really lovely temperature here.
You also notice as you step forward that sure enough there is a skeleton sprawled out on the floor. You can see rags, like it's still wearing clothes which appear to have kind of degraded over a significant period of time. The color's muted, the fabric stiff.
Can I
There are
try and determine a cause of death?
I know it's going to be tricky from the
Yeah, give
from
me
the bones, but I'm mostly looking for something like, signs of rapid aging, for example.
Sure, Galena, give me a medicine check. The room is illuminated, I should also point out, by what appear to be two kind of glowing pedestals that give off a nice, rich blue.
Not great.
Terrible
Galena,
medicine check, I'm afraid.
yeah, Galena, this looks like a desiccated corpse, and it's impossible to tell what caused. Like, you can't tell the manner of death, but you know that it happened a very long time ago. Perhaps you would look at it and think maybe hundreds of years ago. But throughout the rest of the room, which is like an elongated octagon in shape, you can see an alcove with what appear to be two funerary altars off to the right, which which will be used for the preparation of like entombment, for example. But you can see two more doors, one further ahead at the end of the octagonal room and one to your left.
Straight.
I do have to ask one question. Why are the crypts coming after the laboratories?
True. Strange place, this.
It could be that they were using the place to do dissections or something. Didn't see any instruments for it, but it's my only guess.
Comstock gives a look back to Milia and mouths up. Are you okay? Stay close.
Okay, yeah, Milia nods to you. So, what do you all do? As you, the stench of staleness hangs heavy in the air.
All right, let's keep the fun rolling.
Victor will attempt to open the other door.
As Victor opens the door, Comstock's like,
Victor, as you throw open the door, and specifically you, Victor, you retch slightly, as the stink of death washes out over you. And
wrong door.
As you peer in, you see what appear to be 3 corpses strewn on the floor in front of you. They look decidedly more fresh than the one you found on the other side of the funerary room.
Oh, Victor, is that you?
It's me. Galena, go inside.
excuse me.
I'm probably okay, thanks.
An old saying is, he who opened the door goes in and fucking investigates.
That old Lorivar saying.
So, Victor, you can see, so there are 3 corpses kind of splayed out in front of you, but around this, what you assume to be this kind of sarcophagus room, and you can see what appears to be another carving of this, serpentine draconic god to your left on the corner. You can see at the far end is what appears to be a sarcophagus. There is a crowbar wedged between the lid and the body of the sarcophagus. It appears
Grave robbers.
you take one look at the 3 and one look at the sarcophagus and
Can Victor have a look on what would be on the persons of said grave robbers?
To very succinctly describe them, you would describe them as opportunistic bandits.
Do they have anything on them?
They've got some they've got some sort of like some coinage about themselves. You notice that the individual at the far, like closest to the sarcophagus, who's kind of sprawled out on his back, has a very Give me an investigation check.
Okay.
Or what
Does
is
anybody
your-
want
what
help
is your
with this?
Passive investigation 11. Passive perception is 15.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you know.
All right, doctor coming through.
Do you want to give me, or should I give you advantage?
What check do you want from us, Dan?
So whoever's helping, roll the investigating. If you get a 10 or more, the other will get advantage.
Do you want to give me a hand then? Because my investigation's pretty substantial.
Okay. That's a normal roll. Do I help? I help.
You help.
Oh, nice.
Okay. So yeah, Victor seemingly is able to pick out details in the low light, like in the shadows better. But Galena, you get advantage with Victor's help. 21.
Yeah,
21.
21.
Nice.
You notice that the armor of the figure closest to the sarcophagus appears to be armored. You take one look at him and can't help but draw some parallels between this corpse on the floor and Comstock behind you. The armor is tarnished, dented, and buckled.
Check the legs. Check the legs.
But you
That's where the killing blow was.
You notice that of the armored ensemble on this poor individual, the greaves, the sabatons, like the boots, if you will, armored boots, are unusually shiny.
I see.
Oh my God.
And just to be very confident as well, just to check, given the temporal magic nonsense here, it's similar armor to Comstock, but it's not Comstock, right?
I was thinking the same. There was the 3 bodies. I was wondering we're going to find like
Yeah.
a Terran Sprite, an Ace of Var.
Because I'm not psychologically prepared for that yet.
Yet?
It is not. It is not. No.
Okay.
No,
Are we really this bothered about the bare legs, Dan?
Take the boots.
Hey, commies, that's one of yours. You know this fella?
I mean, he's going to be probably dead enough, but it's is it sort of like a Hugo Statian in design? No.
They're
it's-
they're a bit too pointed for your liking. They look like they come up to. They probably cover half of your shins.
I don't recognize the armor.
Just take them.
My knees bother you that much. I just need to say so.
Don't go putting them on. Ruin my view of those calves.
So Victor will start.
I can imagine now, like, Comstock in the middle of the night is doing squats just to keep his calves. Like,
Okay, so while
go full Zach Fair on it.
while the 3 of you are bickering over these boots, Milia, you're kind of stood out in the, like in the the funerary room, and like as you kind of you've got your key lock out, but as you're kind of looking around, like there's that kind of rich blue light emanating from the 2 pedestals behind you. And as you kind of peer at them, and you feel drawn into them almost.
Oh.
You hear, the experiments aren't working. We need to try harder. Initiate Chavan says some soldiers discovered a cave of crystals. We need to bring them back. We need more. Go! Bring them back! And then the echo fades.
I think. Oh no. Lena, I think that people are getting addicted to the magic in those crystals.
What? Speak up, girl.
want to go inside.
I'm coming, I'm coming.
So the three of them kind of come out of the room.
Comstock will take the leg things, just
The shiny boots.
shove them in his bag.
Okay. Marvelous. So yeah, as you come out, you notice that Milia, sorry, is looking around. Well, what's the expression on your face? Panic, confusion, fear.
Panic, trying to stay calm, not knowing what the fuck is going on. It's like a.
As Galena and the others emerge, and Galena's asking, "Speak up! Like, what's happening?" It dawns on you that they didn't hear what you just heard.
Oh, I heard one of those voices again. Something about the crystals and how the experiments aren't working, so they're sending soldiers out to find more. Something really bad has happened down here.
For a temple to one of the more benevolent gods, doesn't feel like a very benevolent place, does it?
Yeah, it's got a magic. Sometimes sometimes the curiosity can get the better of you. And you can make decisions that aren't in your best interests. Doesn't
Sometimes
matter if
others
you've got a
make
god
them
behind you
fold.
or not.
As Galena says that, you all notice that there is one final door in this room that has not been opened.
It's okay
You know
if you leave it long enough. Victor's going to open it.
I think we should just leave this one and get out. Just joking.
Oh.
Son of a...
You know, I quite like this place. It's got like a little vibe going.
How have you lived this long?
You were one of those children who experimented by licking, weren't you? Green moss on a tree. I've got.
As Victor pushes the door open, once again you see a corridor that stretches out in front of you. This one bends to the left before giving way to another stairwell. Who's got the highest perception? Otherwise, Comstock. As you approach the door that's been opened by Victor, you notice that this one is engraved with a carving of a hooded figure. Clutching a winged staff.
That is... Malia, you've seen this?
Huh? Oh, it's the little cleric's room. It's fine.
I mean, he allows you to sort of walk past him and say, I don't quite think that's what it means.
Milia, as you as you kind of glance at the door, you see, like, as the torch light from Victor's torch disappears down the stairwell, so it's just illuminated by your lock and the pedestal nearby. In a Savari, High Savari, the inscription reads, "In Memoriam."
Oh, in memoriam?
Are we entering a private crypt now?
Probably. Going somewhere. I'm not...
You're doing fine. Believe me, you're doing fine.
Is Galena heading? What's Galena doing?
Just making sure that the other two are okay, basically, and they're still coming through.
Yep.
Yeah, because I can see Milia's having a bit of a tough time.
It's okay. We're here right beside you. Remember that.
In which case, as the two of you head down the stairwell as well, Galena, you head down the stairway and you find Victor stood in the entryway to what appears to be a crypt. You can see there is a sarcophagus, very similar to the one you saw previously on this floor above. but this one is submerged in a very still and tranquil pool of water. You notice that on the four corners of the pool there are blue crystals, which give off a misty kind of light. They seem similar to the red crystals upstairs, but more tranquil, more calm.
Right.
Otherwise, you can see, Victor, you can see a number of kind of carved statues in the corners of rooms, and an inscription on the back wall that reads, "Here lies Tomekeeper Akolf. Long may his journey of enlightenment continue."
Now,
Tomekeeper Adolf. You know this person?
Kasperzak, I know you've been having a bit of fun up to now, but bear in mind we've just seen a less guarded tomb than this that has killed at least 3 people. Please, do not mess with that until we know what we're dealing with.
I wasn't planning on. I think we should head back up.
Probably the most sensible thing you've said.
As Victor says that and goes to turn, the room rumbles slightly.
Oh,
But why would you leave, having come so far? And you watch as a figure materializes at the end of the sarcophagus. It is a cloaked figure with a winged staff.
oh.
Let's grab a quick break. See you in a bit. It is clear that this temple holds a great many mysteries waiting to be discovered. Will our explorers be able to get to the bottom of what happened to these Hydraean clerics? Join us next time to find out. Thank you for making it to the end of the episode, which marks the halfway point of the session. This episode ended up being a bit longer than the others, so I've decided to cut it into 2 parts to make it easier to watch or listen to. Please make sure to let me know down in the comments if you prefer the shorter splits, or whether you think a single longer episode is better. If you like what we're doing here, make sure to hit the like button and leave some comments down below. If you're enjoying the maps, you should check out Birdie Maps, who makes all these fantastic creations. You can find their link in the description below. We have lots of other videos like this, one of which you can watch here. And to keep up with our weekly releases, make sure to subscribe here and hit the bell icon for notifications. So, with all that said, thank you once again. Stay safe, and as always, keep exploring.